On May 12th of 1898, the United States began the military offensive to take over the island of Puerto Rico. This was a result of the Spanish-American War, which by then was being dominated by the United States. The U.S. sought to remove Spanish influence from the region, and it also wanted access to its former possessions, Puerto Rico being one of them. It considered the island an important strategic location, and it would not be deterred from taking it. The push to take over Puerto Rico militarily consisted of a naval campaign and a land campaign. The naval campaign began with the bombardment of the capital, San Juan, and it would take 2 more battles in San Juan before the Americans made any major headway. The naval campaign took place from May 12th to August 13th. By mid-July, though, the Americans had inflicted enough damage on the city and the Spanish Navy to be confident enough to begin a land invasion. The Spanish forces expected an invasion to come through the northern region of the island, so they concentrated their forces around San Juan and Arecibo. They were also aware of a planned invasion on the east coast of the island and Fajardo, so they had the town fortified. However, on July 25th, General Miles, thousands of soldiers, and a convoy of ships under the command of Captain Francis J. Higginson arrived at Guanica Bay. Guanica was a small barrio in the town of Yauco. It only had 60 houses and a small Puerto Rican militia unit of about 11 members. When the Guanica lighthouse keeper, Robustiano Rivera, spotted the approaching invasion, he quickly alerted the residents. Most of the residents abandoned their homes and joined Rivera on his journey to Yauco to notify the mayor of the invading forces. The 11-member Puerto Rican militia under the command of Lieutenant Enrique Mendez stayed to defend their barrio. 28 sailors and Marines from the invading forces departed from their ships and landed on the beach. They set up a machine gun nest and placed barbed wire around the perimeter. Lieutenant Mendez and his militia attacked and opened fire on the Americans. The Americans returned fire with their machine gun as one of their naval ships bombarded the Spanish position. Lieutenant Mendez and 3 of his men were wounded, and they were forced to retreat to the town of Yauco. Soon afterwards, General Miles and 3,300 American soldiers under his command landed in Guanica. The few residents who had not abandoned the barrio welcomed the invaders, and they swore allegiance to the United States. Shortly thereafter, the mayor of Yauco had notified the governor, and forces were called up to defend against the invaders. This included a couple Spanish battalions, which were joined by Puerto Rican volunteers, the civil guards, and mounted guerrillas from the towns of Yauco and Sabana Grande. They were ordered to head for Guanica. Meanwhile, one of the other American generals under Miles, Garretson, set out with his men towards Yauco. As they approached the town, they were met with open fire by the defenders. Garretson ordered his men to fire. The unexpected strength of the defending force caused some of the General Garretson's troops to momentarily withdraw. However, the Spanish forces were eventually driven off. After Yauco was taken, the American forces had a much easier time continuing their campaign. The campaign would result in several more minor battles, but in the end, the Americans prevailed, and the fighting of the land campaign ended after about a month. By December 10th, the Treaty of Paris was signed, thus ending the Spanish-American War and ceding Cuba, the Philippines, and Puerto Rico to the United States. Many have questioned why the American campaign in Puerto Rico was not as long and as violent as others in the Spanish-American War. Some have answered that many Puerto Ricans expected the U.S. to grant them their independence, so they didn't resist the invasion as much, while others point out that many provisional Puerto Rican battalions, including the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, were in Cuba defending that island against the American invasion. Let us know what you think in the comment section below. Help us to spread this video by sharing. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell for more videos.